take it. It's on now. I can edit, so I'm not going to, when you make me like that, it makes me nervous. And
That's right here.
Stop, because I'm not a professional.
The point.
I don't want to point. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Be in the Glow. Today, I wanted to show and demonstrate some exercises that I'm actually currently using on some of my clients. You may or may not know, but I'm a Pilates instructor, and I work with a lot of athletes, everyday life, dancers, and right now I have a client in particular that has just come off of full knee replacement surgery. So I took what I know from being a dancer and foot strengthening and training and how it helps with the knee. And I'm going to show you some of those exercises quickly that you can do at any point in time. Holly clearly is going to assist me, but she's not going to be moving around too much. She's not going to exert herself. But yeah, so two things that I like to use when doing these exercises are a stretchy band. So you will need one of those, like a physio or TheraBand. And this is a lacrosse ball, but a tennis ball works just as well. But starting with the foot, this actually is more for dancers to use to help strengthen up their intrinsic muscles. Anyway, all the muscles in their feet, especially when you go up on point. But I also liked to use this exercise when I was cheering as well to help with the extension of my legs when I was stunting. Yes, it's great for your feet, but what it also works is it works your knee and all the muscles from the foot and the ankle all the way up to the knee and a little bit further. So I'm going to show you some of those right now. So I'm going to take my stretchy band and I'm going to start facing this way. And very simple enough, you're just going to take and place the foot on the middle part of the band, wrap it around just where it covers over the toes, and we're just going to work on some articulation of pointing the toe and bringing it back. You checking it out, Holly? So we're just going to take the point down and then point the toe, pull it back, and then straighten the foot. What I don't want you to do, so this is the motion I'm making, okay? Stop, pause, and back. What you don't want to do is when you're here, squeeze and crunch your toes, your metatarsals. You don't want to do that. You want to lengthen them. So we don't want to crunch it like into a fist position. We want to stretch it out. So let's do these. And about 10 of these exercises total on each foot and each leg is great. And you can do this and knock it out in 5 minutes. So we're going to take it down, extend, pull it back, and up. What you're doing is you're using your whole leg to point the foot, but also really working the articulation of the foot so you're not turning it in, having some toes go crazy. If you do, obviously, that's something you need to correct and pay attention to. Okay, so we do some of those on each side. Then I'm going to take the TheraBand and wrap it on the outside of my foot and then place my opposite leg next to it with some spacing. This is where we work on what we call sickling the foot, which is where you have an awkward turnout and you're trying to point the toe and it kind of kinks in. So we're going to do the exercises that help with this. So we're going to take it out and in. Okay. Now immediately for me, you're going to what we call the dancer's tendon. I can't remember the technical name, quite honestly. FHL, I think, maybe something like that. So you're going to feel that. You're also going to feel a little bit of your VMO muscle, which is part of your quadricep, which is really important to help with your kneecap position. So about 10 of those guys. Then all you do is swivel it around. So now the opening of the band is to the outside of the pinky. Cross the opposite leg over. And again, just provide a little tension. You don't want to make it too hard. And now we're going to reach the big toe the opposite direction. So if I can spin around just to kind of show you what that looks like, just so you can see it on this side, just so you can see that the big toe is reaching away. again, this helps with preventing sickling of the foot and what that looks like. So this is a nice pointed foot. We don't want it to turn inward. So oftentimes when dancers or cheerleaders have extension, they want to point their toe, but then it kind of turns inward. So these are great exercises for you guys to do as well every single day. Easy enough, right? Yes, it is. Okay, now take that off. We're going to turn around, and I'm going to use my lacrosse ball and actually stand on the floor to help with the position of my feet. So obviously you're not on a solid ground or surface. You want to be really mindful. You can stand to do this, or you can have a seat. I'm just going to prop up today. But to start, we're just going to roll the ball with a little pressure back and forth. Now, I'm really picky in being a Pilates instructor, so if my clients are standing or in a seated position, I always engage their abdominals and their glutes, because that's how we should sit anyway. We shouldn't be all frumped over. So everything works even when you're trying to do just some simple exercises. This is also great for plantar fasciitis, very important. So we're just going to roll back and forth, okay? Then I like to plant the heel down and spread all of my toes and metatarsals across the ball and just slightly pulling into the waist, hinging forward. Again, you can stand up. I would just advise to be mindful because, again, if you're using a ball, it's not quite as stable versus if you have one of those, I don't know exactly what they're called, but they're just flat on the bottom with a dome shape, and you place the feet on top of it that way. Then we're going to take it fully to the ball of the foot. Again, plant the foot, and then just put pressure. If you feel comfortable, you can kind of just move it back and forth. And then we carry to the arch. So right here, you want to think like a cashew peanut. I don't think that's a peanut, but you know what I mean, a cashew nut. You want to think the arch is the highest point, and then you're going to try to press through the arch of the foot to get both the ball and the toes down and the back of the heel down. This is for the people who have plantar fasciitis, this is about the time they're saying some choice language to me. I don't take it personally. And then we migrate it to the front part of the heel, so not quite all the way back. And again, just some added pressure. And then you're going to put the full heel on, so migrate it again. And this is where it helps with some sciatica relief as well, your sciatic nerve that goes up the leg into the back into the SI joint. It actually goes through your piriformis muscle, which is a really deep glute muscle. And then there you have it. And then you follow to the other side. So I hope you're able to take some of these quick tips and tricks to help with either extension of your legs and strengthening up your feet for dancers and cheerleaders. And again, what I'm talking about is, say you're in an arabesque and you're in the air for cheering, you're stunning. We want to lift that leg. A lot of times I see this in competition. You don't. You want to extend it. And those exercises that I just showed will help with that perfectly. Also for the dancers as well, same thing. And then just for your average Joe, or like my client who had full knee replacement, and she's doing brilliantly well. Her name is Kathleen, and she's doing great. So there you have it. That's all we have today. Thank you guys so much, and I guess we'll see you next time. Bye.